what to do when that first big green candle gives you a little bit of FOMO. We actually had big, huge green candles right off the open. Here's an example with AMD, just absolutely ripped right off the open. And what does that do? It actually creates a little bit of FOMO because you're looking at this trade and you're saying, hey, I missed this. Oh no, I wanted the AMD long, but I didn't take it. And you sit here and you say, oh man, I had a rule that I wouldn't get in for the first couple minutes. But then this happened, and then maybe I got in, maybe I punched the highs, maybe I was not impatient with this kind of trading. What to do when that first big green candle gives you a little bit of FOMO, and hey, did we miss the trade? Let's go find out with Neil.
Well, you know what? You see a candle like that, and sometimes it'll cause you to get some emotional damage when you chase it. When you have, especially off the open, when you have moves like this, and we'll get into Intel, where you see it just instantly jump about $2. You're talking 3-4% on a stock like this. Right off the bat, it was going down, catches the bottom at the pre-market low, and flies higher. This is where people start dreaming about what could come next. Well, what could come next? Look what happened in the previous session. Similar candle, and look at the huge continuation. It went 3x. So a lot of people and a lot of traders are gonna get that emotional response to hit that top, to chase that big time candle. You've got to understand the difference between, oh, there's the top of the candle, let's buy the top. In this particular case, it pulls back and breaks back out. And over here, we see it make that same top, fail the top afterward, and it doesn't consolidate till it's back under resistance. It puts in lower highs. There's nothing about that that looks good. Now, obviously, you'll want to avoid that situation when you have that failing topping tail candle. But if you just punch the high right after that opening candle goes and it breaks out the next without any patience, you can find yourself in a trapped move. When something like this is going to continue, there's nothing wrong with allowing it to consolidate at that bottom. And then you can try to join after that consolidation, whether it's buying it off of VWAP right here where it holds, or taking the secondary break after 10 to 15 minutes of letting it calm right down. And then the other side of the coin is if you do get a topping tail fail breakout, sometimes that turns into an all-day type of short because you've trapped so many people with the long. That emotional response to try to chase that candle when there isn't the follow through. Show that patience. Allow it to consolidate. And if it does fail and you're not in, then you have the option to be short when everyone else has chased. You always want to trade with a plan of action and not react emotionally to extreme moves.
Point about emotions is so important. We sit here often on a trading desk and we look around and you see someone trading to the left of you, trading to the right of you, and you're not in a trade. But I think the most important thing when you get that sort of feeling is what structure was there behind that trade? What idea did you have to implement that trade? Was it an A+ setup? Was it a B? Was it potentially not even a setup, right? When something happens out of the blue, especially those big candles right off the open, you got to sit back, relax, maybe look at different sectors, say, hey, this is moving. Maybe it's the chip names. Do not get in yourself's mind and figure, hey, this is not the greatest trade. This is not the greatest setup. I'm going to look for something else. But remember, often those big green candles off the open are going to give you an idea of what the rest of the market is looking at. It may not be a stock that you've had on your radar to begin with, but then it's a stock that just pops up and all of a sudden it is in play. We're looking for in-play names, right, Neil?
Oh, 100% you want in-play names. But there's something else to consider when chasing those big candles. And obviously, the first time through is that topping tail. I want to point the second time on a 15-minute here instead of usually a 3. You're going to see this big press right into overhead resistance. It already made a top that morning. And then you have another one of these big candles right into that high. It's one thing to get emotional and chase something because it's relatively strong, but allow it to follow through. Understand that a lot of times if the stock is going to trend, then buying dips on trends is a lot easier than chasing the move at the highs. You're going to find yourself with some ugly entries where you have to sort of sit through a big dip, or you're chasing it up here and you have to sit through a dip, and then you're just stressing out. Do not buy that high, especially if you've already seen it make a top. If you've already seen it go into a resistance level and there's a gigantic candle into it, that's dangerous. You hear traders talk about this all the time when it comes to a breakout. I'd much rather it consolidate in, than have some crazy candle going into that big resistance, and then you're gonna punch the top after you've just opened up a gap. The larger the gap that you're punching into, the more downside risk if it reverses. Always try to keep that in mind. Sometimes it's going to work out for you, but it's that downside risk if you chase that you've opened up that move in the other direction that realistically just could double or triple your potential downside if it doesn't work out for you. So chasing, not always the best thing in the world that you should be doing as a trader.
The problem with chasing momentum is it often will end badly. You got to make sure that you have a good structure, chase the right momentum, and get in at the right spot. A couple great examples right there. We want to thank everybody for paying attention to this lesson. It was a great one.